But the champagne that we have today isn't Italian. The Italian champagne is called Prosecco. The Spanish one is called Cava. And of course, here in the United States, we call it champagne. Even though it's sparkling wine, they still can call it champagne. We don't have those restriction here in the United States, okay? But they do in other parts, and specifically Champagne, France. You know, it's and let me tell you, if you drink champagne, real champagne, and this is a great Prosecco. This is an expensive Prosecco we're doing. You're going to enjoy this, but if you drink a champagne, if you're going to buy a champagne, I strongly recommend that you stay away from the domestic brands and get a French champagne just once, guys. Now let's keep something in mind here, folks. Okay, let's taste this first, then we'll talk about champagne. Oh boy, is that crisp! Oh yeah. That's good, isn't it? Oh, that's really good. Oh, that's a great way to finish. Oh yeah. Oh, I like that, Mike. Good choice. You know, you know, I mean, keep in mind when we're in a restaurant, okay? Let's say we're in a restaurant setting. All right, let's use Michael. What's the champagne that all the rappers? What's that? Cristal? Cristal? Okay. All right. You know, there's a certain mystique to ordering champagne, and you know, obviously champagne is for celebration. You know, we're celebrating. You know, here at the end of the class. You know, it's something that you want. It's the same thing when you're having champagne at home or with a friend. You know, it could be a graduation, could be a communion, whatever the case may be. It's a celebration. Although, guys, you should look at champagne a little differently. Look at it from the point of view of having it, you know, to begin a meal. I like serving champagne when I have a guest come over the house, when they walk in the door. You know, look at it a little differently. Yeah, or you know what? You know what's really good with champagne? Of course, strawberries are good. As Michael just mentioned, a little Chambord, okay? Which is a raspberry. Don't look at champagne just as a celebratory liquid refreshment. Look at it as something more than that. I enjoy drinking champagne with my appetizer, especially if I'm having a seafood appetizer. If I'm having oysters, oysters are fantastic with champagne. Fantastic. You know, scallops, you know, shrimp, you know, even the thing that Mike does, and we got in Hawaii, that raw fish.
Sashimi?
Sashimi, yeah. Very good with champagne. You know, a great way to introduce, you know, a great way to say to your guests, welcome, you know, welcome, have a glass of champagne. You know, and,
they're here, they're at my house now,
yeah,
celebrate.
that's right. Yeah. And the nice thing with champagne, you remember, I'm sorry I didn't bring a champagne glass with me, but let's just look at, let's take this for example. A champagne glass has changed over the years. You remember it used to be, you know, just a sort of a shallow one, and yeah, and it was like really flat. That's not conducive to serving a champagne. Now, champagne is, take this glass and make it skinnier. It's a fluted glass.
You can almost say,
there you go.
Like this is pretty much like the width, maybe a little bit wider.
Yes, there you go.
Like this. Just
take that one wine bottle and turn it upside down, and that's a champagne.
Okay, and the nice thing about it, what that does is that it keeps the bubbles, it keeps them rising, and that's what you want. Champagne, you don't want flat champagne. You know, you definitely want to make sure that you know, and it's a great way to serve champagne in a fluted glass. You know, strictly fluted, and it's a nice way to serve it. But champagne is, I think, is an underestimated refreshment, and I know that, you know, sometimes we look at, I always say the wrong term, Cristal. Okay.
Actually,
I've never had it.
The big one rappers drink now is Ace of Spades, because Cristal's a racist company.
Okay.
Because they were upset that Jay-Z promoted Cristal so much, and they thought it cheapened their label. Because so many African-American rappers were drinking it. So that's why they switched up gold bottles to the Ace of Spades.
Ah. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. Cristal actually took a huge hit from that because they made a public statement saying they weren't happy so many rappers drank Cristal.
Oh my gosh.
Because they thought it was cheapening their label, which
And
really they were buying case after case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
A couple $100 a bottle.
Yeah, it's about $2.25 a bottle.
Okay.
I think there's stuff that's better than it though, but it comes in gold foil. I mean, it
just looks,
it
presentation.
It
Yeah.
looks very rich.
You're buying
Sizzle.
You're right. Here you go.
100%.
Really, marketing is such an awfully big component to what we do here. And same thing with these wines. Francis Ford Coppola, for example, has a wonderful line of wines that are out there. I think they're extremely great quality. But Francis Ford Coppola, who is, he did Godfather and several other movies. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of these guys that now they own their own vineyards. Wayne Gretzky, has got a vineyard in Canada.
Greg Norman has one.
Greg Norman, oh yeah, Greg Norman is very important. Yeah, actually his wines are his Australian wines are very, very good. You should try them. But the marketing component to what we do, I don't care if it's wine or seafood or a car, is an awfully, that's America. That's what we're about, and we are what we wear, what we drive, and what we drink. So that's something that, for all of us to keep in mind. It doesn't necessarily mean that this Christophe is the best quality Cristal, sorry, yeah, thank you, is the best quality champagne, but it's obviously a good quality champagne. Am I correct?
Yeah, it gets rated high. It's usually like third on the list.
Okay.
It's usually between the Dom and then between this.
Perrier Joulet.
Yeah, no, that's usually Cristal's rated higher than that.
Is it? Oh, okay.
It's called Ace of Spades, but I think it's like Fleur de Lis or something like that.
Okay.
That's what it's like the real name from France.
Yeah.
They also have a cool bottle though. It's encased in metal with a spade on it.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
Is it a spade or is it a fleur de lis?
No, it's actually it's a spade, but I'm pretty sure
Spade to spade.
yeah I'm pretty sure the company has something with the Fleur de Lis in the name of it, but I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Don't quote me.
Yeah, I think there's just an awful lot that comes into play here with regards to marketing, and we're all, I'm sure we're all Americans. We're all well aware of the upside and downside of marketing when it comes to to what we do. But
Put it on TV, someone's gonna buy it.
yeah, almost, to a certain extent, especially if you put it down during the Super Bowl. But do you notice do you ever notice when events like that we all look at our target market? Did you see any wines or champagnes advertised during Super Bowl? No. How about beers? Okay. Yeah. All right. So I think those are the kind of things we. Yeah. What we need to look at is, of course, our target market.